my first bisque firing, so I figured that I would take and capture it on video. Right now, this is my camera setup. I'm sure as things progress, I will get a little bit better, but this is what I've got so far. My kiln is the Skutt KM818. I have the 240 volt. I've done all the test firing. Yeah, done the test firing, the kiln shelves. This is literally my first bisquing, so come along while I get everything set up. I had all the shelves in when I was doing the testing, so I'm going to take those out. I'll set those up here for now. Looks like I need to start kiln washing again. And test slabs for glaze. So those are what we're bisque firing today. Now, when I did my cone 4 test firing, my cones didn't quite bend over, or my witness cones didn't bend over as much as I thought that they should, or that they should. And so I am going to add 5 minutes of hold time during this bisque firing. So let me set this down, and we can start loading it up. Okay, let me get my witness cones. Cone 5, cone 06, cone 6. There we go, cone 4. We're going to do a cone 4 bisquing. 04 bisquing. That was something that I learned, was that 4 and 04 are very different. When I bought my first glaze, getting ready for everything, I bought 06 glaze, but I'm going to be firing at cone 6. So all the things you learn. Okay, let me get the cookies in first. So I have a larger size cookie, and I know that I can stack these together for the bisque firing. They could be on top of each other. I have mid-size cookies, so there's a comparison between those two. And then I made some little small ones that I intend, well, mid-size, small, and then extra smalls. So I figured I could use those as risers for some glazes where we've got the small, and I figured that I could stack them on top of the other ones, kind of like this. And that would give me a way to get things off the kiln shelf. Okay, first shelf is loaded. Let's add the other full-size shelf, and we'll put the cups in. Okay. These are my cup designs. Teacups is basically what they are, and they all have my little Purrcelain Kat logo on them. Very proud of those. Very proud of those. I know these can touch each other. These are also the first items that I have thrown in my studio. Getting comfortable with my new wheel, which is the Brent CXC. Yeah, I went overkill on that, I know, but it's okay. I wanted to get something that was going to last me. It's the same thing with my kiln. The KM818 is a cone 10, and I know most of my firing is going to be cone 5, cone 6, but that's okay. Let's see, I can stack these, and then I can use half shelf for the half shelf for the glaze test strips. Okay, so I have those stacked. And let me add the half shelf. Actually, you know what? There's enough room on the bottom. I don't need to add a shelf. I can put all those right on that shelf. I am a highly organized person. I'm one of those that puts everything back exactly where they belong. Before I can continue on, there's something in my brain that needs to have things extremely organized. So my shape for my glazed test strips is inspired by Mia from Pottery to the People. So I put little fingerprints in them so they're not completely flat. So I can see how glaze breaks over them. And I have way more of these than I need at the moment, but that's okay. This is kind of exciting. I am in a rush to get these things done for Christmas presents. Okay, there we go. Got the kiln loaded. Let's program it up. Now this is going to be the first time. I'm going to do a slow. Everything should be dry. Several of those have been drying for a week now. Over a week, almost 2 weeks, but the last one was just done last week. So I'm actually going to do a slow burn. Oh, I want to put one more cone in. One more cone 6. Oh no, I'm doing cone 4. Oh my God. Cone 6 will be melted all over the, oh, there they are. Cone 6 would be melted all over, or 06 would be melted all over the kiln shelf, which is what I did the first time. Okay, let me put one more witness cone in on this level. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and do a cone fire. I'm going to do 04. We're going to do a slow, and I do want to put a hold. You know what? I need to read that because I've not added a hold yet. So let me look at how to add a hold, because it's not a ramp, it's a hold. Okay. Place witness codes. That's my test firing. Programming. Alarm menu review. View. Go to after firing. Fine tune the kill. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do venting. That's right. I do not have a venting system in here, so until it reaches the 1,000 degrees, you keep it propped open. I keep the first, this is Skutt's instructions, the first peephole also is empty or unplugged for the proper venting. And then as soon as it hits that 1,000 degree mark, I'll come in and I'll use my heat-proof gloves and take out the cone. My floor in my studio is solid concrete, so I literally just set it right in front of the kiln, and then I leave just to make sure I'm not breathing in any stuff. Okay, let me make sure that I get the hold. Fire medium, start. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, we're going to do a cone fire. We'll do cone 4. Enter. Oh, no, that's not right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Cone fire. Ah, that's the preheat. No, I don't want to do any preheat. Okay, so there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. I was messing up. Okay, let's see. Stop. Okay, cone fire. Preheat is 0. Good. Enter. Cone 04. Enter. Speed, we're going to do slow. There we go. Enter. Hold. There it is. 5 minutes. There we go. All right. We did it this time. I knew it had to be easier than what I was doing. What it was actually allowing me to do is you can program modes where I can set this now as a program and then just go in and hit program 1. I don't need to do that right now. Anyway, that's more advanced. So I think we're ready to go. Let me review it. So we are cone 4. We'll go up to 1945. It's a slow fire with a 5-minute hold. Yay. Yay. You guys ready? Here we go. Start. Oh, and it's going to give me the cost too. There we go. Okay. Oops. I'm done. It's on. She's on. Let's hear the clicking. All right. It has been almost 24 hours since I started this whole process. It's very cold where I live, so it took about 12 and a half hours for the kiln to get up to temperature, and it's 9 o'clock US Central Time, which is where I'm at, and the kiln temperature is already down to 145 degrees, so it's ready for us to be able to open. There's part of me is slightly worried about this because I'm not sure if the kiln cooled down too fast and whether or not everything's broken inside. So I don't know. So you're gonna come on this adventure with me. So let's see what we've got. All right. Ooh, my cone even melted. Oh, it's nice and toasty in here. My hands are cold. So my witness cone did a nice little bend, better than the first time. The first time it only bent to this. So as you can see, we've got a nice 3 o'clock bend. So that's good. I could probably actually give another minute or 2 of hold time at firing to drop that down just a little bit more. So, and let's see what we've got. They're nice and warm, and they're bisque. Got that interesting pink hue. Let me go ahead and set these down. Let's keep going. Just looking to make sure everything is okay. They're nice and warm. Cool. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, they're looking good. They are quite warm to the touch. You know what they feel like at this temperature? They feel like when you pull something out of the dishwasher. Did they all survive? So far, it looks like they've all survived. I don't want to jinx myself. I probably shouldn't have said anything. Let's see. Now, I'm not sure which one was the last one that I did. That was the one that I was most worried about, that there might be still some moisture in it. But so far, so good. Okay, my glaze samplettes. Put those up here. that will be our next adventure, is doing my glaze samples. All right, okay, let's pull the kiln shelf out and see how the cookies did. Okay, cookies are stacked. Now it didn't get as hot down here. That's kind of scary. This is good to know. So this cone didn't fire as well. So I will probably make a call to Skutt to talk about that. I think part of it is that I don't have a ventilation system, so it's not pulling air through consistently. So we'll see. I might need to put something like that up. So I will save those two witness cones and give a call to Skutt. Here are the large cookies. They look to be all in one piece. Yep, those are in one piece. Here are the next size. All in one piece. And then the last two smaller sizes. No cracks. Yay, no cracks. I was worried about that. So the cup level wasn't under fired, but the cookies were probably under fired, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll figure that out. I am going to go ahead and close up the kiln, and then we'll take a look at what the costs and the outcome was. Okay, so we can do our review here. Let's see. Okay, so we did a cone 4. It made up to 1926 for slow, had a 5-minute hold, no preheat, and no alarms. And the cost was $5.08. So I will document that. I have a little notebook here that I keep everything in. So that firing cost about $8, $5.08. Let me just make sure I read that right. Oops, let's do the review again. Okay, 1926, slow, 5, farm, cost, yep, $5.08. So let me jot that down. I love that the kiln does that calculation. Initially, when I was installing the power, I had purchased an outlet meter, but there were some troubles trying to get that working. And so when I found out that the kiln already had it in there, I did not pursue it. Cool, there we go. Okay, so for me, for a cone 4, it takes about $5 US dollars to do the firing. And then I will also give that information out when I do the cone 6. Actually, cone 04. I need to be sure I'm saying that correctly. So when I did the cone 04 bisquing, it cost me $5.08. Now that is a high estimate. Where I live, the cost, I averaged it out to include all the taxes. So I'm doing 16 cents a kilowatt hour. When it's actually just a little bit less, but I'm okay being a little bit more on the conservative side when it comes to the calculation of costs. So I've got all my cups here. My next step is going to be to play around with some glazes. So that's going to be it for this, my first video, which I've learned so much for just playing back what I recorded yesterday and starting the editing. So hopefully, as these go along, I will also improve. The quality will improve. But yeah, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and I will catch you all at the next one. Bye.